fifth grade ELA teacher, and then we have the athletic director vacancy as well coming up. So, and then we look at our human resources dashboard. It's a little different. So over the past month, we're working with some of our teachers to get them certified, the ones who are trying to go through the process. So we have one teacher who is almost complete with gathering all our information, and we're going to present her to the LDOE for a CTTIE. So that's in progress and should be submitted within the next couple of days. We also had, over the past month, two TAP renewals that was submitted last semester, but they just have a backlog right now, so that everything is starting to come through now. I did take a look at the certification status for each school space. At the College and Career, we're at 40% certified. At Shpsd, it's 36% certified, and then at EOC, it's 56% certified. However, some of these teachers are still working toward their certifications, and we're working with them to get some type of certification in place. The upcoming events we have coming up, we have alternative certification meetings coming up next week on the 18th. I got a confirmation from Southeastern after I printed the dashboard report, and they're going to be here to present their alternative certification program as well as their master's program to our teachers, our staff as well. And in this meeting, I'm going to ask if some of our teaching assistants would like to participate in these meetings as well. And then on March 18th, we'll have a presenter from LRCE coming to present as well. Just trying to give them some options that would better suit their needs for the alternative certification process. With that, alternative certification programs, at first we only had I Teach and we were working with Reach University. Now that I've communicated with Southeastern and LRCE, they're on board too, so there are some options for our uncertified staff. A couple of the action items we have coming up, we're in the process of getting our CRDC report done, which is due by May 7th, so that's on target to be completed. The intent to return forms have gone out to all the staff. They're in the process of completing those. And then, like I said, the staffing needs are still the same that was listed on the personnel report. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions? No, okay.
Okay, thank you.
That concludes the personnel committee. Budget and finance will come to order.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter.
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Ashley Castle. Here. Ms. Tracy Womack.
Present. Okay, first item, receive and consider for approval professional services contract between St. Helena Parish School Board and Computer Consulting and Support LLC effective March 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Yes, so there was a request made by Computer Consultant and Support LLC to increase their cost increase the cost by $1,000 a month, so it's a total of $12,000 for the year because of the increasing costs and the other things associated with doing the work that they do in our district, which includes, all of the technology, the security of our equipment and our servers and all of those things. So we were able to find $12,000 in our grant funds, and so it would not have an impact on our general fund. So I'm requesting that you all approve them to have that increase, $12,000 per year. And we do have Mr. Andrew here if you have any questions about the services that he provides and also the rising costs associated with, technology and all of the things needed to make sure that all of our equipment is safe from cyber security and all of those other things.
If anybody has any questions, if I can just speak. I decided to forego the dressing up as a bum to get pity routine and decided for a more dignified approach. Let me start that approach with some good words from the Bible, which I'm sure everybody appreciates. So Proverbs 27 says, verse number 2, let another man praise thee, and not thy own mouth, a stranger, not thy own lips. So I believe that I believe every word of the Bible. Though I believe that, I doubt God is indifferent to us being humbly honest about what we do. And I think, in my humble, honest opinion, I think we've done a reasonably good job for the district. One proof of value and concept of that is the district hasn't been subjected to any ransomware attacks in the last 7 to 8 years. And even when they were, we didn't lose any data for the district. And that happened over 10 years ago, I think, or between 8 and 10 years, when it did get infected with ransomware. And again, when it happened, we recovered all the data, guys. And that's a feat in itself, because there's a lot of organizations that become a victim of ransomware, and they get back going after they get the ransomware dug out of the network, but they lose the data. They have to write it off, or they pay the ransom. Dr. Joseph can tell you we didn't pay the ransom, and we got all the data back. And more importantly, present day, I reiterate that the district hasn't suffered any ransomware attack or any serious cybersecurity attack that has put the district at a disadvantage to, produce, their work and to have the kids learn. So I think that's a proof of value and a concept of what we're doing out here, in my humble opinion. And additionally, we know personally and through business, cost goes up every year, and that's a fact, especially as of late. And, as a matter of fact, we haven't increased the cost of providing the service to the district for the last few years at all. And we used to have what's called desktop support engineers, which is a lower tier type of people resource. We have 2 systems engineers, and they're tier 3 systems engineers. And these guys work on everything that the district has. We don't outsource anything except cabling, or except the things that we get through E-rate, which, we're not an E-rate provider. So everything that the district gets in terms of support for the network, we provide all of it. So, not gonna throw myself on the mercy of the court looking like a bum, but just asking for you, hopefully to consider those things as y'all make a decision. Thank you.
Okay, committee, any other questions? Can I get a motion then? Be okay with the funds being taken from some grant monies?
That kind of funds.
I so move.
I got a motion by Ms. Cheney, second by Ms. Porter. If no other questions, we'll take a vote.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Okay, thank you. Next item, receive and consider for approval request to begin 2025-26 school year bid process for milk products, bread, paper, and chemical products, pest control services, waste management services, and monthly bids for fresh fruits and vegetables.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Food Service Department, I would like to ask the board and committee to start the advertising for the 2025-2026, those words getting hard to say, bids for the new school year in the following category: frozen fruit and vegetables, bread, milk, processed food, frozen meat products, paper, chemical, waste disposable, pest control, and we added termites. With the board approval, we can start this advertising immediately.
I so
Okay.
move.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Cheney, second by Ms. Porter. Any other questions? Take a vote.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item, receive and consider for approval 2025-26 commercial property insurance renewal and adopt terrorism risk insurance act resolution authorizing superintendent to sign acceptance or rejection of coverage approved by
The board.
By the board?
It's right up all in the top.
Oh, okay. Approved by the board, I see it. Okay.
We have Mr. McGee who will be presenting this information to the committee.
Good evening. I'm gonna say something I haven't said in 4 years. My premium is down.
All right.
It's been a good 2025, I was just having a conversation with Dr. Joseph. I've had 2 accounts that's renewed this month, and both have seen not a severe reduction in premium, but a substantial reduction in premium. The market is starting to come back. As a matter of fact, this is carrier you've been with for 3 years now, and they are happy the way you're performing. They're happy the way you've invested into updating the buildings, and that is a direct result of this premium right here. So we'll start off, we're going through that program. It's called Wristbound. It's a membership program. They're not gonna insure just anybody. You have to pass, fail to get into it. But they disperse all their properties across the nation, so it's not concentrated in one simple area. You're the only school district I was able to get in there because they had some other properties in other parts of it. They run a map. So St. Helena's on a little island right here. They were happy to get you. You can see our building values. We've adjusted that due to the updates from the middle school. So now you're at 26 million total values. You were at 24 last year after inflation and everything else. We've increased that. If you go down to the electronic data protection, the $100,000 limit, that is the only thing that has changed from last year to this year. And it's almost a net wash. In the past, we've thrown $50,000 limit on each campus, including this campus, just to have some coverage there. They have a new endorsement on this policy saying if we don't have the values scheduled properly per building on each campus, they're only gonna give us a minimum of $100,000 for any claim. So instead of carrying a $250,000 limit, you're paying premium for, if there's a claim, we know it's not gonna be accurate, we're just gonna get the $100,000 limit they built into the policy. Because that's what's gonna happen in the event of a claim. Does everybody understand that? So basically, it was a wash. They had it included. We're not gonna get it, if there's a claim happening, we're not gonna get that, so why pay a premium for it? That's not the difference in the premium. That's a couple of bucks, but I didn't want to have to go through that in the event of a claim. Our deductibles have remained the same. That's good, and you can see right here that what our premium is compared to what our expiring was. We're down about $15,000 compared to last year. We also do not need to do anything on the terrorism. Terrorism is automatically included into the program. I do want to, and I have down below, we have to pay a $300 membership due. That's separate than the premium, but we point that out every year, and that's something you guys have always paid. On the next page, I wanted to go over the notable coverage limitations and warranties. This is just something I like to put out there and make sure everybody's on the same page. Nothing that I can't live with, but I want to make sure we're all there. The late notice is if we turn in the claim late. We have to give the carrier applicable time. We can't turn it in 2 years down the road and say, hey, this happened. The roof covering is a ACV if the roof is over 15 years. Actual cash value is ACV. That's becoming more and more industry standard in Louisiana. I've seen it as little as 5 years, so I'm happy with the 15-year. Cosmetic damage exclusion, it is what it says is if you have some hail on a roof and it's got some dents in it, they're not going to replace that roof because it's cosmetic. If it's leaking or if it's actually damaged, then yeah, that's going to cause it. But if it's just a cosmetic thing, they're not going to pay to repair that. Vacancy clause, if there's any, and that's also a warranty. And this came because we kind of found out that the middle school was vacant a little longer than expected for the repairs. If you're gonna have a long-term vacancy on a building, we just need to put the carrier on notice and let them know, hey, look, we're properly maintaining it with utilities and everything else. We don't want a claim to happen and then they find out about it. So they just want us to be upfront with them. Property and cyber data endorsement, that's just a built-in coverage they put in there. You have your cyber liability policy to cover anything like that. This is property damage happened because of a cyber attack. It's minor, but I wanted to put it out there. The EDP endorsement, I've already addressed that. Pre-existing damage, we've been with them for 3 or 4 years now. We don't have a pre-existing damage, but if there's something that happened before it went into place, they're not gonna cover it. Communicable disease endorsement, that's your COVID endorsement. They're not gonna pay for you to disinfect the school if we have another outbreak. They're just putting it, the carriers are now catching up to COVID now. They're just putting it, we're not doing that. Marijuana exclusion, that's becoming more and more apparent. We had to address that on the liability side. If something happened with the school, it was due to marijuana, and basically it's more for a business interruption. We don't really have an exposure for that, but I need to put that endorsement to your attention. Wind-driven elements, that's most of our claims been in the past, especially with the gyms. When the wind's blowing in, but there's no damage to the gym. This is just saying, look, we're not gonna pay to repair a floor unless the actual roof is damaged. If it's just wind-blown rain, we may help you pay to clean up, but we're not gonna pay to cause damages that result to that wind-driven rain. That's standard. The warranties below, these are I'm not gonna go through these one by one because some of these do not apply to us. The only thing I had to have a discussion about was the active sprinkler system needed to cover 100% of all buildings. I said, that's not gonna happen. You have some buildings built, in 1950, and you have some buildings built in the 2000s. I said, the building codes were not the same. So I got them to remove it. They've been on it long enough, they feel good with it. The warranty, the 70% minimum occupancy, that goes back to the vacancy clause. If we go back and we shut down 4 campuses, or 3 campuses for any reason whatsoever, we need to let them know these campuses are vacant for coverage to trigger. Okay, this is just the next page is where I went to market. As you can see, there's not a lot of active carriers still in Louisiana, or they told me they can't compete with your current terms. But we did have several companies look at it. We actually had one who approached us to look at it because they were on it several years ago. When I showed them your current terms and conditions, they said, thank you for the opportunity. And that was it. They knew they couldn't compete. And that's it. That's it for the property. And this other page right here is just a continuation. We don't have to do anything. This is a policy that's going to renew until told otherwise. This is for the forklift that was purchased in 2023. It's an inland marine policy. It remains with Liberty Mutual. It'll automatically renew. I'm just bringing it to your attention. It's coming up. Any questions?
Any questions, committee?
No question.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, could I get a motion to accept this proposal?
I so move.
Okay, got a motion by Ms. Cheney,
Second.
second by Ms. Porter.
Ms. Virginia Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney?
Yes.
Ms. Rosita Porter?
Yes.
3-0, motion carries. Refer to the full board.
Okay, that concludes the budget and finance.
Policy committee is called to order. Roll.
Mr. Alcantara?
Here.
Ms. Joyce Porter?
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney?
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph?
Here.
Okay.
First item is receive and consider for approval revised policy JCDAE, student use of telecommunication devices.
Yes, so as you all know, committee and board members, that there is now a policy from the state regarding the use of cell phones or the no use of cell phones during the instructional day. Well, they have now expanded that policy to also include other things such as the watch, the earbuds, and all of the other accessories that go along with a cell phone. So that's basically what this policy talks about. And it also includes that these provisions shall also apply to any school-sponsored event, including athletic competitions and field trips, which takes place during an instructional day. So anything that happens during an instructional day, kids cannot use the cell phones or any other items that are associated with a cell phone, like earbuds, the watches, and other types of electrical devices.
Can I get a motion to refer that to the full board?
I so move. I second.
Been moved and seconded, refer this item to the full board. Is there any further questions? Vote,
Mr. Alvin Travis,
yes.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
That concludes policy committee.
Education committee will come to order. Roll call.
That was it, that's. I'll apologize, Mr. Travis, we needed to add an item to the policy committee.
Okay, the policy committee is back in order.
Yeah, we needed to add to discuss the change in our official journal.
Okay. We have added that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Lee Hutchins.
Good afternoon, good evening. I come before you this afternoon because, as you all know, in June of every year, we select the Advocate as our official journal. There has now been legislation passed, and I think maybe a couple of years ago, that you have to select the publication that has the largest circulation in the parish. That is the Daily Star. The Advocate had been previously still honoring contract rate for us. They're no longer going to do that. It's a substantial increase in the price, and we have to follow suit with all of the other agencies. Even though we're not under the umbrella of the police jury, we have to follow suit because of the legislation. So I come before you asking that we select the Daily Star, AKA Hammond Star, as our official school board journal.
And there are no other options.
Also moved.
It's been moved to refer this item to the full board. Any further questions? Vote,
Mr. Alvin Travis.
yes.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Thank you.
That concludes policy committee.
Education committee will come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Olivia Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Lil Valdez, Ms. Latia Brown, Ms. Christy Nettles, Dr. Joshua John Paul,
Here.
Ms. Singleton.
Present. First item is to receive and consider for approval 2025-2026 school year calendar.
Yes, the calendar committee met, and they were given the calendar or the proposed calendar for the 2025-2026 school year, and I'd like to share, they approved the calendar, and so I'd like to now share it with the board and ask for approval of it. So I just want to give you some highlights about the changes that will occur for next school year. The first is a big change. We'll do away with the staggered days for the beginning of the school year, and this was due to attendance issues. The kids would not come to school on the day that their grade was assigned. They would wait until the day all kids needed to come to school. So we eliminated the staggered days, and we'll start school on August 5th. Another thing, we added an emergency schedule for early or delayed school starts, so parents will be aware of the times that their children will arrive or depart at school, and there'd be no question about when does the school day end or what time we would have to take in. Our school hours will change from 7:50 to 3:30 to 8 o'clock to 3:30. That equals to 420 minutes per day, and the 30 minutes that we'll have will allot for the lunch and also transitions during the school day. We also eliminated an 11-month job category due to the 4-day work week and to reduce the workload for the finance department. We also included 11 job-embedded professional development days. So the teachers are required to work 182 days, but because of the 4-day work week, they were working less than the requirement. So although we added the job-embedded professional development days on those Mondays, it still shows where they are working less than the required 182 days. And then we are also off on Mondays during most of the school year. So if you turn and look at the calendar, I think it's in your documents online. We start the school year off on August 5th for all learners. We do have our Labor Day in September, and then we'll have no school on Mondays in September. For October, our homecoming day is tentatively scheduled for October 10th, and we do not have school on Mondays. In November and December, however, we will be operating on a 5-day school and work week because of the long Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year breaks. For January, we have teacher professional development on the 5th, and then our learners return on the 6th. We'll be off on Martin Luther King Day on the 19th, and there will be no school on Mondays on the 12th and the 26th. For the month of February, there's no school on Mondays on the 2nd and the 9th. Mardi Gras is February 16th and 17th of 2026. And then we start our spring break Fridays on February 27th. That carries all the way through the month of March, where we will be off on Fridays. And then Good Friday is April 3rd, so we'll be off on that day. And then the Easter holiday will be off. In the previous years, we were off on just that Monday after Easter, but they'll be off on the Monday and the Tuesday. And on that Tuesday, it will be a professional development day for our teachers. And so our learners will return on April 8th. And the last day for our seniors will be April 30th. When moving into May, we'll have no school on Fridays on the 1st and the 8th. Our last day of school will be on the 14th, and teachers will have Records Day on that Friday, the 15th. Our graduation dates will be Wednesday, May 13th for our kindergartners, the Thursday, May 14th for our 6th graders, and our high school graduation will be Friday, May 15th, 2026. We do have the listing of our benchmark assessments for September, December, and February, and also our LEAP testing window. And early release will be, if we have to release early for any reason, we will release at 12 o'clock, okay? And then also we put in some delayed school start times. In the event we would have to come to school late for any reason, which would include, any kind of emergency or any kind of weather condition. We also have included the days that, for our doctor visits. So and it coincides with the days that we do have off. So parents will know, the best times that they can bring their children, to a doctor's appointment or any other things that they need to do at home. So that is the highlight of our 2025-2026 district calendar, and I ask for the committee's approval. If there are any questions.
Questions? Can we get a vote?
I so move.
Second?
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
3-0 motion carries.
Moving along. Mr. Doctor. Come to the podium.
Lord, once again, we come before you, Lord, with thanksgiving in our hearts, Lord. Lord, thank you for just another opportunity to come together and do the business of these, our children, Lord. Lord, may every decision that we make tonight be pondered and be in the best interest of children first, Lord. Lord, give us the wisdom to do what is best. Lord, we ask that you would bless us in our travel here as you have, and continue to bless us as we go home tonight. Lord, we ask these things in your Son Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Helena Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. Joyce Porter. Ms. Olita Porter. Ms. Linda Cheney.
Present.
Mr. George Hughes. Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Present.
All members are
Item B, approve minutes and agenda from January 9th, 2025 committee meeting, January 9th, 2025 regular board meeting, and the current agenda. Can I get a motion to approve those collectively?
I so move.
Motion by Mr. George Hughes, I second.
Second by Ms. Joyce Porter. Any questions? No questions, shall pass by general consent. Item C, new business. Presentation of board members, this 2024 LSBA training certificates.
We would like at this time to present the certificates to our board members. This is a training certificate. Okay. So you actually received two. One for the training certificate for January 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. And then also a certified board member program certificate of merit. And so our first recognition goes to Ms. Joyce Porter. Congratulations, Ms. Porter. Our next is Ms. Lolita Porter, who receives two as well. Ms. Linda Cheney. No, you got two. Mr. George Hughes has two. Miss Virginia Bell also has two.
Thank you.
And then we have Mr. Alton Travis.
Apparently just one.
Congratulations, board members.
Thank you.
Please give them a round of applause.
Item D, superintendent's report.
All right, we'd like to first start everything off with the introduction of our new principal at St. Helena College and Career Academy, Ms. Josie Butler. Would you please come forward?
Good evening. I want to tell you a short synopsis about my educational journey. I've been in education for 11 years. Since I've been hired, it has been a pleasure leading the teachers and learners at St. Helena College and Career Academy. My vision for the school is for all learners to have a foundation to be successful adults. I plan to accomplish this by continuing to inspect what I expect building-wide. The great coach Nick Saban said, in order to get to the next growth level, you can't be average. You can't be good, and you certainly can't be bad. You must be elite. I plan to continue to model and develop teacher capacities so they can equip learners to be academically successful. I plan to enhance the school culture by continuing implementing and following discipline protocols. I plan to assign professional development to staff that is a good fit for them, where they could grow instructional-wise and for personal growth. I plan to continue to emphasize instructional strategies for teachers to grow learners, at least 2 achievement levels on state assessments. And lastly, I plan to strengthen communication within the community and be accessible to all stakeholders with the intent of moving our school to an acceptable letter grade, because the school cannot do this alone. We need the support and the help of the community. And with that being said, I want to invite each of you out to our district basketball game on Friday. Tomorrow night, we play North Lake Christian The game starts at 5, 6, and 7. It's junior varsity, girls varsity, and boys varsity. We're playing for the district championship. So please come out and support the learners. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
All right. So I do have a couple of, or several announcements I'd like to make to everyone. So, grading board members and also St. Helena Parish School community. First, the February edition of Kids Scoop News is now available, so I encourage everyone to get a copy and explore the engaging content, which includes stories about Valentine's Day crafts, Black history facts, financial literacy information, and a whole lot more. I also want to congratulate all of our learners who participated in the Science and Social Studies fairs this year. Your hard work and dedication to learning are commendable, and we look forward to recognizing you and your families during our March school board meeting, so be on the lookout for that. This month, we honor Black history and the remarkable contributions of African Americans. Our schools have planned an exciting Black History Spirit Week, and I encourage everyone to check out the details on our social media platforms. Due to the inclement weather from January 20th to the 23rd, we experienced a snow week. Fortunately, we do not need to make up any instructional days as we have the significant minutes banked in our academic calendar. So I just want to make everybody aware that we do not have to extend the day or add any more days to the school year. We want to congratulate Malachi Gurrier. He is our 8th grader at St. Helena College and Career Academy. He won first place in the Martin Luther King Day essay contest that was sponsored by the Sons of Promise and Daughters of Destiny Mentorship Organization at Southeastern. He had the opportunity to read his inspiring essay during the ceremony, and he also received a cash prize, so we're very excited about that. We are incredibly proud of our alumni who continue to shine in this great world. First, we want to recognize Ms. Darren Griffin from the class of 2018. She came in and hosted a workshop entitled Empower Your Future, Dream, Believe, Achieve for our 12th grade girls. So she spoke about goal setting, how to focus on the things that you want to achieve, and perseverance. And she also led a vision board activity. So we want to thank Ms. Griffin for coming out and giving back to her school community. We want to recognize Mr. Isaiah Warner. He's from the class of 2024. He performed with the Southern University Marching Band Human Jukebox during the pregame show for the Super Bowl. So we're excited about that. And also, Dedrico Robinson, who's also the class of 2024. He participated in the Rose Parade as a member of Jackson State. We won't hold that against him, but he is doing some fabulous things at Jackson State. So very happy and proud of him. We had 2 graduates, her name Jakiria Collier and Savannah Fisher. They had the incredible opportunity to perform during the halftime at an NFL football game on Christmas Day. I don't know who the 2 teams that played. Maybe you can help me out with that. But they performed with Beyonce, so that was a great time for them. And then, of course, we have Osiris Torrance, also known as Cybo. He plays for the Buffalo Bills. He had an outstanding season and was just 1 game away from the Super Bowl. So we can't wait to have him come back in town so we can recognize him for his outstanding accomplishments. So congratulations to all of those graduates that we mentioned and all of the other graduates that are out there doing some spectacular things in this great world. I want to remind everybody about our Mardi Gras holiday. Our schools will be closed on March 3rd and 4th, with our learners returning on March 5th. So please enjoy the parades and the celebrations. I want to also congratulate Ms. Latia Brown. She's not here tonight. She's our Director of Post-Secondary Opportunities. She earned the Leadership Spotlight for the week of February 3rd. And then we have our very own Ms. Tracy Womack. She earned the recognition for this week, February 10th. Your dedication and leadership are truly appreciated. I want to remind everybody about our PJ's Coffee House that's on our high school campus, open from, I believe, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We invite you to stop by and support our learners while enjoying a delicious beverage. And I also issued a challenge to all of our school principals. The ELC had the challenge to teach AI lessons to all of the classes and all of the learners at their school. The A&T, their teachers were challenged with meeting their ZERN goal. They needed to get 100% completion for that week. And then the college and career teachers were challenged with mailing out at least 150 cards or notes to all of the families. The A&T and the college and career met the goal, and the teachers were awarded with a pizza, and the A&T kids will enjoy pizza and a DJ next Thursday. The ELC almost met their goal, but I did want to recognize the efforts that the teachers who did participate made with their kids. So it was a great week. They met their goals, their academic goals, and it all connects back to our vision. So we're very excited about that. So thank you all who did participate and won that challenge. The high school does have an additional challenge, and we'll find out later on this evening if you met the challenge. All right, so the challenge for the high school was that there should be no, and we were very specific about it, no fights for a week. So we looked at from Wednesday, because I was on campus Wednesday and Thursday, and it was really great. It was quiet, it was peaceful. I was in there doing observations, the teachers were teaching. We saw, it was some great stuff happening. Monday, there were no fights. Tuesday, there were no fights. Wednesday, no fights. And today, I said if they could continue that track up until Thursday, then we will recognize all of the learners at the high school. So I'm happy to report for a whole week of school, which is crazy, right? For a high school with all those kids, there was not one fight. So we want to congratulate them for that job well done, and we are going to recognize them later on. So thank you very much. And that's it. That concludes my report. Are there any questions? All right, thank you.
Next item, approved committee reports, from February the 13th, 2025. Can I get a motion? Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter, second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No question. Shall pass by general consent.
Question. That's supposed to be executive session.
Next item, executive session, to discuss potential litigation involving funding allocation for security resource officer. Can we get a motion to go in executive session?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. George Hughes. Second by Ms. Joyce Porter. No question. We shall move into executive session and return shortly.
Somebody that's person, what they think.
It's pretty.
Can I get a motion that we return from executive session?
I so move.
Motion by Mr. George Hughes. Second by Ms. George Porter, that we return from executive session. The board went into executive session to discuss the filing of a petition for mandamus to allow for the funding of the Security Resource Officer by the sheriff. The general counsel will make a formal request to the sheriff through his counsel. If the attempt to resolve the matter out of court is unsuccessful, then the board will file the petition for mandamus. You should then move, can I get a vote? A motion, I'm sorry.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. George Hughes,
What was it on this mandamus?
yes.
Yeah.
Motion by Mr. George Hughes,
Second.
second by Ms. Joyce Porter. Any questions? Roll call vote.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Rosita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Mr. Alston Travis.
No.
All right, there were 5 for, 1 against. The motion passes. Next item. Next meeting date will be March 13th, 2025. Closing comments. Board members. Any comment, board members? Dr. Joseph just informed me there's a candidate running for judge here, and so we're asking her to come to the podium.
I'm sorry, I should have got on y'all's agenda, but I had.
Okay. No problem.
Can I say a few words?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jenny Richardson Four. I'm running for juvenile judge in the 21st JDC, so that's gonna cover all of Livingston, all of St. Michael, and all of St. Helena. So I'm running for juvenile judge because our community deserves a leader who is dedicated to protecting our children, supporting families, and combating juvenile crime. A little bit about me. I'm married to my husband, Colt Four. We live in Denham Springs with our 2 children, Cecile and Cassius Four. I went to LSU for undergrad. I graduated in accounting, and I was also a student athlete there. I was an LSU cheerleader. After undergrad, I went to Southern University Law Center, and I graduated there magna cum laude. During law school, I clerked for some big firms and found out that big firm life was not for me. But I had, I guess by a blessing of God, I was placed in Judge Edwards' court and juvenile court here. That's the outgoing judge, the seat that we're trying to replace. And I clerked for her for a year and a half, and I fell in love with helping the community and helping our children. So I tried to stay in her court, and I moved over to the public defender's office, and I've been there for the last 10 years. So I'm sure that y'all know this, but our district has the most juvenile cases in the state. And I represented, or had over 270 cases this year. Judge Edwards had around 2,000 cases this year, or last year. So I'm actually the only candidate that's really active in our juvenile drug court and our truancy courts because I do the delinquency side of things. And because I do the delinquency side of things, I have kids that are in the Department of Children and Family Services custody, so I work with them. Y'all know we have a mental health epidemic going on, so I work with LDH closely. I work with Florida Parish's Juvenile Detention Center closely, and for the kids that I have that are there, that are in the secure facility, the long-term program, Joey Dominic is doing great things over there, and I work closely with him. He has these kids earning their high school diploma in the detention center. They're getting their PPEs, they're OSHA certified. He now has a driver's ed course in the detention center, and we have a community, or a technical school, North Shore Tech is also in there. One of the things that I think that we need on the back end of that is a mentor program, because some of these kids are still getting out before they turn 18, and we're putting them back in the same environment, although they have resources to succeed. So I want to start a mentor program for the children that are getting out of detention center, just to keep them on the right tack until they can start a job and get a car and all of that stuff. And another thing I want to look at is our truancy cases and combating that earlier in their age. We have kids that sometimes are missing 50 and 60 days of school, and at such a young age, we know that there's probably a home issue. And if kids aren't, and you know this, Dr. Joseph, if kids aren't reading by the time they're in the 4th grade, they're more likely to drop out of school. And if they're more likely to drop out of school, they're gonna wind up in the system. And we're only paying about $10,000 to educate our children, but we are paying $100,000 to incarcerate our children. So I really wanna be more proactive on the front end and help these kids succeed, so we're not paying $100,000 on the back end to incarcerate them, because that just doesn't make sense to me. So at the end of the day, I just want these kids to have the resources they need to overcome trauma and hardships and be successful adults. And I would appreciate y'all's consideration in the March election. It's March 29th, and early voting is the 15th through the 22nd. If y'all have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I have some business cards for the people that didn't get them, and I can give them to y'all and reach out anytime. Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, any other comments, board member? Just wanna, let you guys know, keep Miss Nettles in your, prayers because she lost her mom. So please keep her in prayer, and anyone else that we do not know by name in St. Helena Parish, because they did have, an incident on Monday night. And I think that involves former students of St. Helena. So please keep all those family in prayer. And then we had another young lady and a child, a student, a month or so ago, from the Fifth Ward area. Please keep that family in prayer as well, the Powell family. All right, if that be it, I see you guys tomorrow night at the St. Helena College and Career Academy. Be there or be square. So that last motion, this meeting is adjourned.